And people always ask me, where do you go poop? Right here. I even made my own toilet. My life is easy. I bought this cheap land in the sticks. Then I built a gate to keep the cops out. I bought this shed for $8,000, and then I turned it into a house. This house has running hot water like any normal house would. I put my pumps underground here so they don't freeze in the wintertime. I can even shoot at my deer feeder out here in the woods from the back window on my house. That makes it really convenient during deer season. I don't have any bills now. This is my instant hot water heater. It runs off these small tanks of propane. I also installed this nice 48-inch shower. Look up here, that's my chimney. That's how I heat my house. I cut my firewood up from trees off my own property. I even burn my own trash. Everything here is paid for. There's no electric lines that run out here, so I built my own solar setup. This is how I power my house. And this is how I power the neighbor's house. He lives off grid in another cabin on my property. I installed his batteries and inverter in this shed. He's running two 100 amp hour Powerwall batteries and one 6500 watt inverter. My system, on the other hand, is a bit larger. I'm running 600 amp hour 48 volt batteries and two 3000 watt inverters. After running my entire house all night last night, it looks like my batteries are only down to about 94% discharged. That's actually really good. So how did I do all this? How did I build all of this? I'm about to explain in detail how to get all this done. The first thing you have to do is buy a piece of land. Land is not very cheap anymore, but there's still some good deals out there, and I'm going to show you how to find them. First thing you need to know is you're going to have to buy property that doesn't have restrictions on it. Not only that, you're going to have to buy property in an area where they don't restrict tiny homes. Local codes and city ordinances are pretty much going to be out of the question. Well, the best way to start is you have to find a website that's selling off-grid property or property without restrictions. In some states, you're not going to be able to find any of those things. I chose far into the country in Oklahoma, the foothills of the mountains. It seems like the farther out you are, the less they're going to care. Some people think they're too old to do this. I bought my property when I was 38. I put $3,400 down from my income tax, and then I made $500 a month payments for 10 years. Now, 10 years seems like a long time, but I ended up working hard and paying it off a lot sooner. My suggestion for you is to buy 5 to 10 acres of off-grid property. And where you're going to find that property is websites like landmodo.com, and in my area, Southeastern Oklahoma Land Company. Remember, one of the biggest things you're watching out for is land without restrictions. And also, don't overlook the covenants. Most of these companies that are selling land like this, they have covenants when they sell the plots. Those things may say things like you can't have a unpermanent structure to live in, or you cannot run a business on your land, and things like that. I hope this has given somebody hope here, because I feel I could do this all over again if I had to start from zero. And I'm trying to tell you exactly how I would do it. I could go buy 5 acres of unrestricted land right now for about $450 down and $450 a month. I've done videos showing people that have done that exact thing. I've also done videos showing people that have gone off grid and didn't quite make it. You don't want to end up like those people, so it's best to learn from our mistakes. So you can buy land like that from those places with no credit or bad credit. So what's next after you get your property? Well, you need to clear a place to put your house. Just rent a skid steer or Traco for one day. It's going to cost you around $400 to $500, but you're going to get a lot of work done, and it's well worth the money. It really beats having to pay somebody else to do it. That's when it gets costly. If you don't know how to operate it or don't think you can, then just pay somebody else to do it. It may cost you a couple of $1,000 to get a nice little area cleared. I was blessed and able to buy my own Traco earlier this year, but when I bought my property, I had to start clearing the land by hand. I used lawnmowers, weed eaters, and just good old-fashioned hard work. Then later, I decided to rent a skid steer. I used the skid steer to clear almost 2 acres. Here is some actual footage of us clearing the land about 10 years ago. I apologize if the wind noise is really loud on this camera. We actually have our first cold front this year coming through today. The trees are really moving pretty good. So my shed to house here, I bought from a place called Lone Star Sheds. They're located in Texas. They delivered it out here to Oklahoma because it wasn't too far across the border. So you can't always expect perfection, but remember, you gotta start somewhere or you're never gonna get anywhere. You could buy your property and stay in a camper or even stay in a tent until you got your house built. Remember, as long as there's no restrictions and you're